is Patience Moore. I was asked by Shalia Bell and Lindsay Bell to share my story about my son that passed away, the story of a mother who lost her child. My son's name was Marcus Jamar Moore Jr. He was such an amazing kid. You could ask anyone who knew him. He was wise beyond his years. He was funny. He was caring. He was in tune with God. He was so sensitive to the Spirit of God. He was just an amazing kid. He passed away June the 6th, 2010 from a rare heart condition called left ventricular non-compaction that was diagnosed while I was carrying him in my womb. This experience left me, as well as my family, my children, my parents, all of us that, just broken. Because I come from a family that is really rooted, in God, and we have great spiritual roots, and we trust God, and we are people of faith, and we believe that God still heals and He works miracles and He can do anything. And I sing on the worship team, and I teach the young people, and I teach Sunday school, and I do all these things in the house of God, and I do it with such delight. I love what I do. But this God that I sang about, I was crushed when He decided to take my son. It wasn't a lack of faith. It wasn't that I didn't believe. We believed God. But sometimes you don't know how to accept the will of God. You can't see the good in things, when you're actually going through it. I remember times that, we would go to church and minister. This is after his death. We would go to church and minister, and my husband, also a minister and works alongside us in ministry. And, we would go to church and we would minister to other people, and they would talk about how blessed they were of God. And we would go home and be so broken, go home to an empty room, and we would just lay across the bed and cry, in such agony, such pain, pain like we've never known before. Times that I had physical heartache where it was tangible. It wasn't just a cliche that I was heartbroken, but my heart literally felt like it was in pieces, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how I was going to get out of this dark tunnel that I found myself in. This tunnel of offense. God offended me. A lot of times people don't speak of that, but not that God owed me anything, but I work for God. I trust God. I love God. And I didn't understand why He would take my son. After all, it did take us 3 pregnancies even to get him here. We had a miscarriage. We had a premature delivery. My cervix was too weak to hold, and then we got pregnant with him, and we went full term, but he was born with a heart condition, and I just didn't understand why. I didn't understand how, and there were times that, you don't, it's great to be a blessing to other people, but it really didn't matter to me at that point because I was so broken. Lord, you'll take and break me and bless other people. I didn't understand that. And I want to speak to, a mother that, it's not that you lacked faith in God, but sometimes we just don't understand His will. We don't understand why God does what He does. We don't understand what the good is that's coming out of this. But I promise you, all things work together for the good. You may not understand it when you're going through it. You will not understand it when you're going through it. There will be some dark nights that you won't understand. There'll be some dark days that you don't even want to get out of bed. But we just have to trust that God knows exactly what He is doing. And I just want to encourage you. And and I don't want you to feel rushed, or there's not a certain way to handle this. There's not a certain way to go through this. You have to do what you have to survive. People don't understand there is such a connection. We carried these babies for 9 months. We carried these children. We nurtured them. There's a connection, and there's a piece of you. I know when my son passed away, I told my parents, I said, that day something in me died as well. And you don't feel like you can go on. It's like you really feel like you can't go on. There's nowhere to go. What do I do? How do I pick up from here? And I tell you, I won't sit here tonight and tell you that things get better, but I will tell you that God will teach you how to live with a hole in your heart. But there's a hole, there's something missing there, but he'll teach you how to go on and how to live with that. And not just live with it, but to be a blessing to other people with that testimony.